Hello friend, if you're receiving this video from me today, it's because you're a realtor or you are in the real estate business. And the reason you're receiving this specifically for you is because I'm about to share a great testimony from one of my clients, Amanda, who was able to almost triple her income in the last 6 months by working on herself, not by working longer hours or working harder. So I want you to hear from herself how she was able to not just increase her business, but also improve her well-being, her communication skills, her relationships. So without further ado, I'm gonna pass and let you watch this interview that was done 3 weeks ago. And stick around if you wanted to have an opportunity to talk to me about how I might be able to help you. My name is Alex Gill, and I coach a lot of realtors and solo entrepreneurs how to increase their business, increase their success, while maintaining health, well-being, and happiness. I'll see you on the other side. And cool. Hello, Amanda. Thank you so much for joining me in this interview. And you've been working with me for about 6 months. And stop. Let's start over. See, this is what I do in my own recording. Okay. Hello, Amanda. Welcome to this call. And I wanted to introduce you to my audience of a lot of entrepreneurs and realtors because Amanda has been a realtor for 2.5 years. She works at Steps Real Estate here in Boulder, Colorado. Also, Amanda is a mother. She's a wife. And she's just a badass. And Amanda and I started working together 6 months ago. And I want to share with you a little bit of her story, her journey, because she came to me initially with 3 goals. One of them was to create a solid business in her real estate. And another goal she had was to really work on her vision to someday build or buy a hotel on the East Coast. That's a dream that she has had for a while. And the third goal Amanda had was to transform some of the negative emotions like guilt, sadness, because she thought that was affecting her business. So those are the reasons that Amanda came to me. And I'm gonna pass this to Amanda and say hello.
Hi, Alex. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate
it's great to have you here.
Yeah, thank you. And the past 6 months have been really beneficial and have made me, a better realtor, and I feel a better woman, person, mother, wife. And a lot of our talkings has really transformed my relationship with others, which has helped me succeed with my business.
Awesome. I love that. So Amanda, tell our audience a little bit about that moment when you knew that you needed to make some changes in order to take your business, to take your life to the next level. What was that process for you? Like, what happened that made you realize I need to make some changes, so I need some help?
Yeah. So I was fairly new to the real estate world as a realtor. I had been investing and doing different things with my husband, but as being my own business and gaining clients and gaining their trust, I was finding that I was kind of hitting a standstill a lot of times with what I was doing. Mm-hmm. And I went to a seminar that Alex gave up in Longmont at our sister office with Kate Fay. And I just loved the exercises Alex went through, that you went through, and all the just closing our eyes and really feeling that like peace and that finding that centered spot. And I thought, okay, well, she's onto something. And then I read your book. I bought the book and I read it like within just a couple days. And it really, it made me realize that, hey, if I want to change something about my business, which was fairly new, that I needed to really change the way that I was thinking and the way that I was doing things. So that's what brought me to you. And I think our first session was very enlightening. And that was the part where I was like, okay, I'm going to keep coming back. And I haven't looked back.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. So how was, after that first conversation we had, right? How was then the process for you of implementing a lot of the tools and the strategies that I taught you? How was that process for you?
Yeah, at first it was really hard, to be honest. It was really, anything that's new is difficult, especially if it's taking you out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
A lot of it, there were things, that I was there to improve my business. And then I found that there was the business part is only like a small part of it all. The
Right.
rest of it is really about your, your life and your relationships with the people that are in your life, and
Mhm.
the way that you interact with yourself. It's not just about, other people. And
Mhm.
so when, after our initial meeting, like meeting after meeting, I felt that pieces that, like, I had a shield, the shield was coming off in layers. And when the layers were being pulled back and I wasn't as shielded or guarded, I was able to get to roots of issues that I never even thought of, things that I didn't know. But those things also, helped propel me towards self-help, self-healing, and that self-healing led to self-healing in other relationships in my life.
Awesome. Awesome. So tell us about how doing this personal work has helped your business. Like maybe you can share with the audience like where you were in terms of, business volume or whatever you're comfortable sharing, where you were. And then by doing this personal work, really, because it's right to say that you didn't improve your business by working harder and longer hours, right? So you really chose to work on yourself in order to improve your business. And then by default, you saw other areas in your life improving, like communication, your relationships, your well-being, right? And I love that. So tell us a little bit, like, so our audience can really like, uh, you know, um, see the change in your business. What happened 6 months ago to now?
Yeah, so I would say that, at least business wise and transaction wise, I was maybe towards October when I started with you, I was at the lower end of maybe like 5 transactions that year.
Mhm.
And I had wanted more. And since then, I have almost tripled that.
Tripled.
Yeah, so I've almost tripled that volume just in 6 months. And
That's
that is not just, almost tripled, not completely, but it just kept me motivated to keep going. And my husband always said it's about working smarter, not harder. And I never really was like, I understood it, but then I was kind of like, okay, whatever. Like, it's just something that he said. But then after like actually going through the motions, I am working smarter. It's not about, being up late or getting up early, which I do both sometimes. And sometimes I don't do either. But it was really about just understanding what is going to make the most impact on my business. And a lot of it was the self-confidence, and a lot of it was the guilt I was feeling, was not just guilt. Often felt, if I was working long hours, I was not being a good wife. I was not being a good mom. I was not, being a positive friend. And by like actually working and being happy, I found that actually made me a better wife, and it made me a better mom and a better friend, and it made me more like aware of my surroundings. And also a big part of it was I started to value my relationships with people a lot more. And I actually made it one of my New Year's resolutions that I want to grow and build the relationships with people I have, and really cherish that instead of just kind of taking it for granted and being like, oh, they're my friend.
Yeah.
So
I love that. I think a lot of women, either realtors or entrepreneurs, will really relate to the story that you just shared, like with that guilt that if you're working, doing what you love, spending enough time with your kids. So I love how you share their story. So tell our audience a little bit, how do you handle everyday stress and you create balance in your life, being a mother, a wife, a business owner, an investor, right? So how do you create the balance with all?
Yeah, the balance really, I found when I was at my hardest time, going through personal things and then going through business things. My hardest time was that I wasn't organizing everything accordingly. And my organization was not about like making sure I had enough sticky notes and everything's written down in my calendar. Is really organizing what are the things that are going to help me get to where I need to be. And that is, if I wanted more, transactions, how do I get to those more transactions? Is it, cold calling? Is it going, to networking events? Is it hosting certain events that I want to do? Is it sending out postcards? So I really had to dissect that part for my business as to what is it that is going to bring me the business. And just by doing it for, some time, I realized what kind of business I really wanted too. And in turn, I also learned that not all business that comes your way is the right business for you.
That's right.
I found that some of the stuff that came my way was not something I really wanted to do and wanted to be involved with. And it didn't spark me joy, and it didn't bring me, this like feeling of happiness. So I started to say no to things. And when I started to say no to things is when I started to be happier. And when I was happier, everyone around me was happier.
Wow. That is another super powerful story that you share, because a lot of realtors, as we know, are so afraid to lose business that they don't have boundaries and they say yes to everybody and to everything. And we know that leads to a lot of fatigue and burnout and unhappiness, right? So, yeah. Amanda, I want to wrap this up by asking you if there's a realtor right now watching this great testimonial, a realtor who is struggling with the business, struggling to get new clients, is struggling with, fatigue, with low energy, with not enough money, what advice would you give to that realtor?
The advice I would give is it's usually not the business. Usually the problem is something within. And you think that making more calls or contacting more people is going to bring you business. It is a numbers game. It will probably eventually. But if your heart and soul is really not in it, then what you're going to produce from it is not going to be the quality that you are wanting. So my recommendation is to really, and if it's not that I would go and talk to Alex. That would be my recommendation. But also, if it's not that's not the outlet that you're looking for, at least find someone that you can really talk to. And it is usually a stranger. They're usually better to hear your feelings and thoughts and help you get through those things rather than telling your best friend that stuff, because they're not looking at it in an objective way. So that's my recommendation, is to really talk to somebody and find what is the root cause of it, because it's usually not your business. Your business is 5% of it. So.
Got it. Amanda, this was so empowering. I know a lot of realtors are going to really relate with your story. Entrepreneurs, mothers, wives, or husbands and business owners. So thank you so much for sharing your story. I am so proud of your success. Have almost tripled your business. That's amazing. And I'm not even a business coach. So I love that by work on yourself, by shift your thinking, really get in touch with your emotions, you're able to unleash the superpowers that have helped you in so many areas in your life, because at the end of the day, all I care is happiness. And it sounds like you're cultivating that every single day with tremendous success, a beautiful family. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll connect very soon.
Yeah, we will. Thank you very much.
Of course, Amanda. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow, did you enjoy that? Especially if you're a woman, a realtor, a wife, I bet Amanda's story really resonated with you. If you're interested in learning how to increase your business just like Amanda did, while improving your well-being, your health, your relationships, book a call with me. It's free, there's no commitment. Just book a 45-minute call where we can brainstorm together and see if I can support you in any way. And if I can't, at least I'll point you to the right direction. In this call, expect just to have a roadmap of strategies that can help you to achieve results like Amanda did. And again, if I'm not the right person to help you, I'll make sure to point you to the right direction. So make sure you book your call today by clicking the link below. I'll talk to you very soon. Thank you.